Of course, we're starting in Ukraine with a warning of increased violence and new allegations of unthinkable cruelty, and unthinkable is a word here. This footage shows a massive column of Russian troops heading toward the eastern part of the country ahead of what could be a major new offensive. Right now, Russia appears to be primarily focused on taking more territory in the east. The port city of Mariupol may soon fall under their control after a campaign that the city's mayor says has killed more than 10,000 civilians. The U.S. is also monitoring a local Ukrainian military report that chemical weapons have been used in Mariupol. So far, those claims have not been verified by CBS News. Holly Williams is in Ukraine with We Should Warn You once again. This is a very upsetting story involving accusations of sexual assault by Russian-led forces. Holly, good morning to you.
Good morning, Gayle. Well, there have been multiple allegations of rape by Russian forces during this invasion. The Ukrainian military took us to a village that on the surface appeared relatively unscathed, even though locals said Russian forces had seized control there for 2 weeks. But hidden from sight was a story of horrendous sexual violence. And we want to warn you that our report is deeply disturbing.
Vera is 83 years old, a retired schoolteacher who told us when her village was occupied by Russian forces last month, she was raped. He grabbed me by the back of my neck, she said. I started to choke. I couldn't breathe. Vera told us she was attacked in her own home with her disabled husband in the house. She said she was also beaten during her ordeal. I told the one who raped me, I'm old enough to be your mother. Would you let this happen to your mother? Vera said. He made me shut up. The spring has arrived in Ukraine and the Russians have left this village.
Oh, so they dug themselves in here.
But there's no celebration. Vera told us she feels neither dead nor alive. When he finished, he grabbed a bottle of vodka, she said. I asked if I could put my clothes back on. He barked no. She told us when he left, he fired his assault rifle in the air 3 times outside. The Ukrainian military took us to Vera's village because they'd heard reports of sexual assault by Russian forces. We were told others were also raped here, including a 16-year-old girl. We cannot independently verify any of the allegations, but Vera's story was detailed, compelling and heartbreaking. She's also reported it to the Ukrainian police, she told us, who took sheets away for testing. I wish he'd killed me instead of what he did, Vera said. She told us she believes her attacker was from Ukraine's Far East, a region controlled by Russian-backed separatists, where men have reportedly been conscripted to fight for Russia. Even now they've gone, pushed back by the Ukrainian military, Vera is visibly anxious. I feel like they're going to break into my house at night. I jump at every noise, she said. Every night I'm petrified.
Ukrainian war crimes investigators are documenting alleged atrocities, and the United Nations says it's increasingly hearing of rape and sexual violence here in Ukraine. But war crimes are notoriously difficult to prosecute. Gayle.
Holly, I don't even know what to say. 83 years old, that's about as disgusting as I've ever heard. Thank you for that story.